Okay, so if you don't believe me that error messages are truly your friends, then this episode will certainly convince you. What we have here is 1,000 lines of code. So if I scroll down, you'll see that we have 1,000 lines of code. The last line here, we can see the line number is 1,000. So if I run this play button, we will see that it does not work. We have an error message. So now we have to fix this error. If not for the error message, we would have to comb through 1,000 lines of code to find the error. Instead, if we carefully read the error message, we can see right away that the error is occurring on line 141. So the first thing that we'll do is scroll back up to 141. Okay, so here's line 141. At first, you will not understand the exact contents of every error message, but it doesn't hurt to go ahead and try. So it says syntax error, unexpected T identifier expecting end of input. Honestly, even to me that sounds a little bit like gobbledygook. However, once we've identified the fact that the error occurs on line 141, when we actually look at 141, it seems pretty obvious what the problem is. We have this typo, literally, just sitting there. So we're going to go ahead and delete that typo and run our code again, hopefully having resolved our error. So I'm going to hit the play button. And now we get an error message. So at first it seems, hey, we did not resolve our error. But in reality, we did. We resolved the error on line 141. What we're encountering now is another error. In this case, it's an error on line 545. At without identifiers is not allowed as an instance variable name. Okay, honestly, that also seems pretty strange. But again, we can see that the error is taking place on line 545. So we're going to scroll right there. Okay, line 545, we can see it says P for @4. Apparently the @ sign is not understood by Ruby, and it's not understood by me either for that matter. So what we'd have to do here is go ahead and change it. Now honestly, it's unclear what that was supposed to be. Did the original author of this code mean for that to be a plus sign, a minus sign, an asterisk, or a /? It's hard to know. For the purposes of this lesson, though, we're just going to go ahead and change it to something else. We'll make it a plus sign. And now we're going to hit the play button once again. Now we get an error message, but as you can see, it's a different error message than before, which means we successfully resolved the previous error, and we're simply encountering yet another error. After all, it's not unlikely that in 1,000 lines of code that you may have a few typos and errors. In this case, we're encountering an error on line 456. In this case, we're getting an interesting divided by 0 division error, which seems pretty interesting, but let's head on over to line 456. Okay, there it is. P5 divided by 0. At first glance, there does not seem to be any typos. The problem here, however, is that in the laws of math, one cannot divide something by 0. Why is that true? I don't know. Don't ask me. Ask your local mathematician. But the reality is that one cannot divide something by 0, and it actually triggers a special 0 division error in Ruby. So to fix this, we'll have to change it to something else. I do not know what the original author intended, but we'll just make it 5 divided by 1. And we'll hit the play button. And we get another error message, which is great because that means we resolved the previous error. In this case, the next error we're encountering occurs on line 790. Undefined method P for main object no method error. Did you mean PP? I don't know what we meant, but let's go ahead and head on over to line 790. Okay, there it is, 790. At first glance, it may be difficult to see the error here, but if you look very carefully, we have a capital P. When we explained before that Ruby does not understand the capital P, Ruby is a case-sensitive language, and it only understands the lowercase p. So to fix this error, all we have to do is change the uppercase p to a lowercase p, and that should fix the error. We're going to go ahead and hit the play button once again. Hey, from the fact that we do not have any error messages means that our program, our software, our 1,000 lines of code are now bug-free. But as you can see, if not for the error messages, we would be doomed. It would be near impossible to hunt down and locate every error in 1,000 lines of code. That's why error messages are so crucial. It tells you what line the error is taking place on, and in many cases, what the nature of the error is. Indeed, sometimes the message that the error message is saying can be difficult to understand, but in many cases, you can reason it out by looking at the appropriate line of code, look back at the error message, and with practice, you'll be able to quash these bugs in no time.